You're tuned in to WeTalkRadio Network.
We know anything about words, Big Joe, we know that words have power and words can take flight. You know what I'm saying? And, so we have to be mindful all the time, not just some of the time, all the time, the way we speak, not just to our children, but in front of our children about other people, the way we encourage or whatever it is that we do, hopefully not discouraging, but the way we encourage other people. But as you know, everybody's not encouraging. People tend to have their own way of doing things. No shade, but just people have their own way of doing things and giving support. And sometimes it doesn't look like it may seem like a negative thing that they're saying, but to them they're like, no, I was trying to help you. But those kind of words, people's words could actually take flight and be hurtful.
Words can start a war.
Yeah.
Whether in a home or whether over the country. Words, they can either destroy people or it can heal you. Again, I believe the biggest lie ever told was sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you.
Wow.
Again, this is the biggest lie ever told. I've been hit with a couple of sticks and had a couple of rocks thrown at me. Have you ever looked at your body and seen scars on your body and had to really think hard, where did it come from?
Wow. Yeah.
But there are some things that were said maybe when you were a child that you remember like it was yesterday.
Absolutely.
Words are very powerful.
Absolutely.
Words are very powerful. When we were younger, they used to try to encourage our parents on not talking down to us. For the simple fact of saying, if you continue to tell a child that they would be nothing, then they will perceive that they will be nothing.
It's powerful, and it's true. It's true. Now, a lot of times, sometimes kids can persevere through that, but sometimes they can't. Sometimes some kids can see the light at the end of the tunnel and say, you know what, I heard what Mama said, I heard what Daddy said, but that ain't me. I'm better than that. I'm different than that. But not all the time.
Some people can use negativity as fuel for a positive outcome, but everybody is not that fortunate. Everybody is not that blessed. Some people take words to heart, and I think we as people need to be more cautious of what we say and how we say it. Many times, or sometimes, it's not what you say, it's the tone or the maybe nonchalantness or even the attitude with what you're saying. Sometimes a person can take the truth a hard way because you're saying it a hard way. Have you ever had a person that just told you the truth, but they said it a wrong way?
Yeah, mate, he does it all the time.
It is funny because I knew you was going to say that. I knew you was going to go right there.
And Métis, she gets, we've talked about this for years on the radio show. Even within our own family, she gets a bad rap because she's like, I'm just trying to help. But it's like the way you're helping, it sounds like it's a negative connotation to it. It sounds like it got a negative hook. It sounds like you're digging, But a lot of times she's just trying to tell the truth or trying to decipher or trying to figure out things. You know what I'm saying?
So, we have these moments. We have these times. How do we deal with them? What do we do? Do we cut these people off, or do we tell them? Do we communicate with them on what they're doing with their actions or with their words, rather? It's funny. Go right ahead.
I was going to say that's a good one. I've also heard it on the other end, which I want you to address after you say what you got to say. That people need to just get a thicker skin and stop being so sensitive. See what I'm saying? Like, there's two ways to it. Like, do we get thicker skin and stop being so sensitive, or do we truthfully have a conversation with the people who are hurting us and say, listen, what you're saying is hurting me, and it might be hurtful to other people, which is what I did. And I also try to get some thicker skin. But what's the true answer? How do we really, it might be a case-by-case basis, but,
It may be a case-by-case basis. Thicker skin, I believe it depends on who the person is.
Right.
No one with words can hurt you more than someone who knows you.
Right.
Who knows you, who knows the secrets, or who knows things about you. Family. No one can hurt you with words quicker than family, friends.
Right. Right.
But how do we get past this point? The first thing that we still have to do as people, whether we're talking or whether we're listening, is to still treat people with the same respect that we would want.
And that can be hard to do, real talk. That can be hard to do. And you might want to give people who are listening some tips on how to really do that. Because it's easier said than done. We can say all day, treat people with respect. But how do you do that in the face of disrespect?
Well, I think the biggest answer for that question is, of course, or the best answer that I can give you for that is, don't allow anyone, whether with words or actions, to have more control over you than you.
Agreed.
There are times when people can say things and it'll push your buttons, or they can do things and it can push your buttons. But at the end of the day, if they can make you go outside of your character, if they can make you do something outside of your normal routine, or even handle things differently than the way you would normally handle it, then it's possible that the person has more control over you than you do.
Wow. That's powerful.
Wow. Again, it can be hard to try to continue to respect someone if you feel disrespected. That's when we tend to lash out. That's when we tend to fight back or buck back, if you will. That's really a hard one to answer, Kia. That's a hard one. But again, if we look at the situation like, hey, would I want someone to talk to me the way I'm talking to someone? Not necessarily the person that's talking to you. My grandmother said something that was very amazing to me once. She said, God will never ask you why they treated you the way they did. God will never say, why did Joe treat you the way he did? Or why did Kia treat you the way she did?
Wow.
He will always ask you, why did you do it? So we have to, again, take more responsibilities for our own actions. Think more when we speak or before we speak. And we as people have the ability to interact in conversation. Meaning, if the conversation goes a way that you don't want it to go, or you feel hurt, threatened, or upset by the way someone is talking to you, you don't have to listen and you don't have to talk back. You can exercise your right to walk away.
Powerful right there. Powerful word. Exercise your right to walk away. Yep. Exercise the right to not physically want to be in a dispute. Like, you physically have to train your mind to say, you know what, it's not even worth it.